Hello and welcome to the Overly Animated Podcast, where we take animation seriously. We provide fan-oriented and analytic discussions on a variety of animated shows, movies, and anime, currently featuring Steven Universe, Miraculous Ladybug, The New Powerpuff Girls, and Star vs. the Force of Evil. I'm Dylan Hysen, and today I'm joined by Delaney Stovall.
Hello.
And Justin Cummings.
Hello, loyal listeners.
Okay, I think you said that last time, so you're getting... You have
Yes,
to
it's a
vary,
thing.
You have to vary
Am I
the
repetitive
intros.
now? I'm sorry.
Yeah, you have to vary the intros.
Yeah.
Today, Delaney, Justin, and I will be discussing first a bunch of news that has come out lately about Miraculous
So much
Ladybug. Various Miraculous Ladybug news coming out. This is our weekly roundtable where we discuss a specific topic. Tune in for us here for every, some regular amount of coverage on Miraculous Ladybug. It's going to be a while till season 2, as we'll discuss in a minute, but some regular coverage here. And then we'll be giving you, I came up with this topic before any of the news came out, so it was a really good idea. Good job, Dylan. Our wish lists for season 2. So we talked about predictions, but this is a wish list. So this is like, what would our favorite things be? Not necessarily what we think is likely to happen, but we'll discuss that too. What could happen, what could not happen. But first, we're going to get to all this news. So if you haven't listened to us before, make sure you subscribe to us either on YouTube or iTunes. Check us out at overlyanimated.com. And of course, leave us comments about anything here. More about the future of our Ladybug coverage at the end, I guess. But first, news. Okay, finally, we have a time frame for season 2. It is May 2017.
Woo!
Woo. Do we know what language that is?
No, I don't think so, but we assume French.
Okay.
So,
Well, I saw things about Nickelodeon. Who knows?
it could. It at the very least, it will be French, right?
Nick
So
is just now airing Guitar Villain. For the
Yeah.
No, I know. They made an announcement.
Yeah, they do record the dubs, I believe, like along with the normal production. So it's very possible that it could also air in Nick and Korea in May 2017. But it doesn't really matter because I want to watch the French version anyway now.
Yes,
so
it's better.
May 2017. We have some other news, but first of all, that date, that is probably on the latter end of what the possibilities were based on what we're hearing. So in terms of getting Ladybug to us faster, not great news, but it's good to have a time for him finally.
I kind of predicted around this because I figured Halloween for the Halloween special, October, December for Christmas, probably February for the Shanghai.
Right. So it's like,
Would they have
gone right into this with like based on the Shanghai, but no, we're gonna wait a few months.
I figured it would probably been like April-ish, but I'm okay with this. Like, it's a very Doctor Who airing schedule.
It is. This is, in general, this is not how long you want to have between seasons of your show. Like they can do what they want, you know. And this is probably necessitated by production. The show's gorgeous. Like, it takes a while to make.
And for France, that might be an issue. That's probably why Nick. I usually get mad at Nick for taking so long to air shows, i.e., Power Rangers. But in this case, if they knew it was going to be a very long hiatus or a long production cycle, Nick might have made the right call because Nick's going to finish airing
I guess
October.
So. They can do what they want, but it doesn't really matter what Nick does. I don't. But in general, though, you don't want this long between seasons of your show. This isn't the way to keep interest and stuff. So I'm not crazy about this, but you know, it is what it is. So May 2017, we'll have stuff in the meantime. The next bit of news is next batch of a different type, presumably, of Ladybug webisodes are coming in October next month, 2016. By the way, all this news as of Thursday the 8th. September 8th. That's when we're recording this. You guys are getting it later. So if there's been news in the meantime, I apologize for not having it here. This Ladybug
We can't
webisodes.
predict the future.
Well,
It's the podcaster curse. Something will be announced on Friday the 9th that will blow everything else out of the water. I don't know. A voice actor reveal? I don't know. I don't know.
We won't know the French people, so it wouldn't matter anyway. But I guess so. So this Ladybug announcement, I'm getting a lot of this from Jeremy_Zag on Instagram of owner of the Ladybug production company.
Zag and Thomas are the two main
co-owners of
It's hilarious because Thomas hates spoilers. Jeremy loves it. So they're like constantly fighting.
Yeah, I looked on Thomas's Twitter and I didn't see any of this stuff. So that's interesting. He also tweets a lot though, so I don't know. But anyway, the Ladybug webisodes next month. It is a very how would I describe this style that the picture is in? I would say and now I'm trying to remember the show on Cartoon Network with like the fairies That's the way I would describe this.
Which?
No.
Winx Club?
Winx Club. Would you agree that this is a Winx Club style? I don't know. I never watched that show, but that's
it's Winx
I got
Club.
the song in my
100%.
head now. Thanks, Dylan.
Okay. I don't know what the song is, but yeah, it's a very like it's not really an anime. It's different than it seems like this is going to be more of a Ruby Chibi type thing. If you're familiar with Ruby and so our coverage of these webisodes will depend on how substantial they are. If they are just like cute little a few second things, then we can mention them in the beginning of our roundtables. But I doubt that they'll warrant entire episode discussions. But we'll see. We'll see what they are.
Watch one of them make All Yanet canon.
Yeah, that'll be good. And then it'll be like, nope, only the webisodes, and we'll rage. So that'll be.
But the webisodes are canon.
I mean, do we know that? Like
the last batch.
The last batch one. This seems different though, so I don't know about this one. We'll see.
I feel like any news would be canon, not necessarily the pratfalls that we're bound to get.
Probably canon unless it's like Ruby Chibi. So next bit of news from today or yesterday is again from Jeremy Zag's Instagram is a picture of one of the villains from next season.
This is amazing.
Miraculous Season 2, new powers, new villains. Okay, we knew that. New powers is interesting, but we already knew that, I think, from previous info. This is a yellow woman with a staff.
Looks like the bee.
So she's yellow, there's that.
There's black stripes too on the staff.
The caption underneath, this looks like a concept art shot, and a lot of times they have a file name associated with them that's written there. We got this from Quora stuff, I remember. LB2_CH30_style queen. So, Ladybug 2, season 2, chapter 30. So one of the early episodes, and her name is Style Queen. Is the
episode 4? Yeah, that makes sense.
Not 100% sure how they're counting the numbers, right? So it could be 3.
Ooh, wait! If we have 3 specials, chapter 30 would then be the first episode of season 2.
Right. So if they count the specials as episodes, this could be the premiere. So
it's Chloe, isn't it?
This could be the like Hawkmoth like.
So
thing.
this could either be right. So we know Hawkmoth's getting a partner or something. Like there's just another Hawkmoth larger type villain. So this could be her. Or it could just be the akumatized villain of the episode. Because
that is way too beautiful.
It looks too detailed. So my counterpoint. So the in favor of this just being a 1 episode one is the fact that there's an episode name on the concept art. Counterpoint to that is that I remember from Quora stuff that concept art of recurring characters did have their first episode as the name in the concept art shot. So these could be like, because you need to design her for the first episode and then her design just recurs. So
the only way I could see this being a one-off is if it's the one Laura Morano's playing. Because I can't see any other akumatized villain being worth a Instagram thing like that.
I think that he would Instagram the first villain of the season. I think that
maybe.
Would make sense. I mean, certainly
it is Chloe.
So, I don't think this looks like Chloe.
No, it's not Chloe.
It's a bee-looking thing. It's called Style Queen.
Yellow,
it's Chloe.
So we have Queen. I think you're being influenced by Yellow and Queen. This is definitely not Chloe's body type. Like this is an older person.
But
this is a woman. Like this is an adult. Like
at the very least, like an older teen. Like this is not Chloe. And she also has elf ears. If you look at this is interesting. And she has something going on with her head and her staff. So it's like an elf like.
We can just have like a bigger villain who like bosses Hawkmoth around.
So that would be great if she is the bigger villain.
That would make me so happy.
So basically, Lord Zed from Power Rangers is what you're requesting.
No, well, we don't. Okay, no, but we're not requesting Power Rangers. Don't worry about that. But I think she's probably not the Hawkmoth partner. She could be. I also think it's a possibility that she is an akumatized villain who has a run of, or akumatized or not, just a localized villain for a few episodes that has a continuous plot. We know we're getting these chunks of episodes. They said like it's not all continuous next season, but there's more continuity. So we have like episodes 1 to 3 is the Style Queen arc, something like that. That seems like another possibility.
I would love that. Can I do what they did with Origins, where Stoneheart was in those 2 episodes? Kind of spread an akumatized villain over 3 or 4 episodes.
Yeah,
make them a true threat.
Yeah, that's possible. Last thing to discuss with her, I think, is there's 3 shots of her. We've been discussing the stuff on the left, but she kind of, depending on which way you sequence the shots, 3, 2, 1 or 1, 2, 3, she either materializes or disappears, kind of like pixel by pixel in the last frame.
To a swarm of bees, because it's the bee Miraculous.
Oh, okay.
Because
So-
it's Chloe.
No.
So I don't. That's
No.
it. Could okay. That's the best evidence you've given so far. Is that she's consists of bees.
I'm
it's-
sorry, her costume looks way better than Ladybug's and Cat Noir. She can't be a hero. Like, the superhero
no,
costumes
come
are
on,
No,
different.
Chloe
Don't-
is a villain.
Ladybug. No, she's not. Don't.
How
don't,
great
stop,
would
don't
that
say
be?
that. Don't
Chloe
say that.
was the
Don't say
main
that.
antagonist.
Ladybug's costume's better. Come on.
No, like from like I mean, their
Come on,
costumes look like cartoon characters, superhero costumes, and that's excellent, and I love them. But
It's
this costume
appropriate,
is
yeah.
not a superhero costume.
She kind of looks like
it's-
the Golden Queen from Skylanders Trap Team, if we're being honest. And if you don't know what that is, just look it up. It's the same thing.
So I think it's interesting that she dematerializes, and I'm not sure what that
Yes.
means, and I'm not sure why she's yellow. So it could just be that she's made of bees. Could be that she's made it like a fairy made of dust or something.
She could be some sort of like, I mean, there could be some sort of like anti-Kwame thing, like some sort of force or power or something.
Yeah,
There has to be
Right?
something
Yeah,
to
she
oppose
could.
the
She could
Kwames,
be.
so-
She could be supernatural in origin. Yeah, she could
That's
may
what,
not
that's
be a
what I'm
human.
thinking.
Yeah, that'd
Thomas
be cool.
has said there's other means of powers besides the Kwamis. He said the Miraculous verse centers on the Kwamis, but there's other kinds of heroes in this verse.
Let's,
So it's possible. She'll
Well,
be
that
our
also
first.
could just be a reference to all the other shows they're trying to like.
Well, this is
hype.
when he called it the Miraculous verse before anything else was announced. I think they're referring to that more as the Zag Heroes verse. I think he meant specifically in this show. I think.
We'll have to see.
It's hard to tell what they're doing with that. Yeah, so I don't know what's going on with her. We need more details. It's an interesting design, at least.
It looks cool.
I am leaning more towards the non-human origin, considering she's yellow and has a staff and elf ears and dematerializes.
Yes, and glowing and
Yeah, so there you go. So that's a big one. Well, maybe she'll be in our wish list now. I don't think so. My wish list predates seeing this picture. So, next bit of news is from Winnie GZ on Twitter, who is I believe a storyboard artist on Ladybug.
Yep, he's a storyboarder.
Yeah, him, her, I don't know.
I think it's a him.
Looks like a guy from his avatar. With a very detailed shot of Ladybug's eyes as his Twitter header, which is a good choice. And he posts I don't know what to describe this. Some sort of picture of
It's a very early
these-
storyboard picture.
like a Sharpie of a generic balcony. I'm not sure if this is actual art from the show in the background or not. Just a Sharpie of kind of Cat Noir sitting on a balcony and a Marinette next to her on the balcony. And he
Looks kind of like Marinette's balcony.
okay, that's possible.
yeah, it could be. Yeah,
He says, balcony scene, yes, spoiler. # yes, spoiler. So I'm not sure if this is facetious or not. That
And
this
the
is
Maricat fangirls rejoiced, and we cried, and we
yeah.
held hands.
I'm
'cause
glad
we
you
were
said
all
we.
happy.
Yeah, I'm glad. Thank you for weeing yourself into there. I would have commented that, but yeah. So I don't know if this is sarcastic or not, because this totally could just be a Google like background, and then just he sharpied them in and like, oh, it's a spoiler troll, lol. Like it could be that, but I don't know the context of his Twitter account. It seems like he's trying to say it's a spoiler.
It's
So-
either going to be we're actually going to get a decent balcony scene, like this is going to be something very genuine, or it's like the Star Smooch Buddies on the Lips thing that happened, where everyone's like, it's going to be a ship. Oh, no, it's okay. It's fake out.
I mean, this doesn't imply anything romantic happening. It could just be.
I
sitting on the
want
balcony.
my Maricat balcony kiss, and no one is
No.
stealing that from me.
I mean, other than reality, maybe.
yeah. Other than reality,
But
other than it
you
not
two.
happening.
This I will say something close to this is on my wish list that predated this that I saw when Justin reblogged this today. So already on my wish
Oh,
list.
I was
We'll
the one
discuss
who
this more
reblogged
then.
that.
Yeah, so I saw that on yours. Thank you, Justin.
Welcome.
And we do need to tell Dylan the Ladybug news because I don't see any.
I do send Dylan links.
Yeah, you
It's
did. You sent me the
everywhere.
premiere dates. That's
Gosh.
good. And the last thing I saw when I went to Thomas's Twitter is miraculousladybugshop.com, which
Yes.
is apparently the official shop. And I found Justin's birthday present. Which
Were you really getting me a birthday present? It's in 2 weeks. Are you serious?
Oh, I was going
Oh
to ask when it was.
my
It's too
God.
soon. I renege on that. But it is a
too soon.
keep calm and eat cheese shirt featuring Plog.
No way!
And if you would actually wear that, then that's interesting.
Yes,
I
would.
I would have never.
What
known.
I'm just gonna
What
mail
the-
Dylan a Plog plush.
No.
and...
That's so sweet.
This merchandise, I would say, is not very good in general.
No, it's not.
There's
It's
one.
like,
There's if you
terrible.
look for the gray sweatshirt with the ladybug photo, it is literally just or it's red, and then you click on it, and it's gray. And it's literally just a picture of a of a sweatshirt with a obviously photoshopped picture of ladybug on top of it.
Well,
Like,
I went through all the women's stuff because I was like, okay, what does Delaney want? And then no, it's all half of it is just like a generic ladybug on something, and I'm like, thanks.
yeah, I'm not into any of this, to be honest.
No.
So
I'm
that's-
pulling the shop up now for me.
Yeah, there's some flip flops with Marinette's face on them.
Yeah,
You
the
want
flip
those?
flops were interesting. I thought those were an interesting choice.
I want the Plog cheese shirt. I really, really do.
Oh my
It's so cute.
Oh my goodness. Okay, so you can check that out. Okay. Let's get into we're already pretty far in. Let's get into our main discussion, the season 2 wish list here, and comments on any of our interpretations of season 2 news. So, this can be anything you want from season 2. Like it's totally open ended. I want to go through everything on the list, and I want to talk about like how much do you want it, and then that's first, and then separately, is this likely at all? Basically. So those are the two questions we're going to ask for each of these. So I want to start with, I have, most of my list is like wish fulfillment items, but there's a few serious ones. So I'm going to start with like the serious, to me, there's like two big ones that I really want that are like serious ones. Then there's a few things that I think the show needs narratively. And then there's a bunch of stuff with Chloe, so we can get into those. But let's start with the big items. And I didn't tell you this at a time, so I'll go first and give you guys time to adjust to this. So let's run through each of our big items. My first big item is something that we have been promised will be fulfilled, but we'll see how much they execute it, which is a continuous narrative. This should be of no surprise to listeners of me and Delaney's episode discussions.
Literally every episode.
Yeah, if only the show had a continuing plot arc. That's my main thing. I want a continuous narrative. It would really enhance the storytelling the show has done. I'm fine. It is better if we had arcs that to each arc was not continuous, but at least there's a grouping of episodes which have continuity. But I would love for the show to work towards a point where episodes like went one after another and we built up to something, because I think it would enhance the show's storytelling in general, the plot, its mythology, and more importantly, its character arcs, which have been severely lacking from season 1 for some of them, because which just like is this episode at the beginning, at the end, we kind of have to keep everyone in a stagnant place if we're not moving forward. So that's my big number 1. My big number 2 is something that I am less sure of happening, but I have also talked about this a lot, which is I want to build up to an identity reveal this season. This season, I want it to happen now. I don't want to drag this out. I want to take the season, put it in the finale, and say, okay, what's the coolest way to get there? And we'll do that throughout the X episodes that the season is. I don't think we even know that.
I'm guessing 26 again.
Yeah, one would assume. So
That's very standard.
Build your season around them figuring out each other's identities, Marinette and Adrian, in the finale. That would be such a great way to structure a season. It would be a lot of fun. You could tease it the entire time, but then you have to pull the trigger, and then we can advance with the show's narrative, because it's going to get stale fast. It already got stale fast in season 1, and we were there already. So it's frustrating. It's narratively stagnant, and I'd love to move forward. And that's the biggest way to move forward with the show, is to actually get the identity reveal out of the way. Now, how likely do I think that is? Probably not likely.
-5.
I know. I actually do think it's more likely than you guys think. Like I've been advocating that this is something that they would consider, because really, I think this is the entire show. That's like the biggest premise of the show, is them not knowing who each other is as superheroes. And if you really want to do something continuous, this is the one thing to do. I don't think they'll do it, but I think there's a chance.
I mean, they'll do it, but it's not going to be this season. I don't think.
I think we're looking at like season 4. Yeah.
Yeah.
Delaney, any big ticket items like those on your list?
Yes. I mean, I guess it seems kind of silly, but we keep talking about Chloe, but like, I want Alia to become a superhero. Like, I need Alia, and not only, and I say become a superhero, like, Alia needs to have a bigger role in the show. Like, she's one of the
I feel like that's more of the big ticket item, which is the like Alia bigger role. Like
yeah, that's really what I mean. Like, and not just her being like obviously it'd be amazing if she was a superhero. That's how I would want it to happen. But like she needs to like Alia needs to like just be more prominent. She's Marinette's best friend. We need to back off this constant. Oh my god, Adrian! Like I'm just like it's so irritating, and it's like it doesn't do anything for Marinette or like this or the plot.
This is a lot of items you're bringing up here. I don't think this is one thing.
Well,
but yeah.
they're related. Well, they're related. They're related in that it's just like Alia. Like we just need to have like Alia doing more. I want more with the the lady blog, like everything. Like Alia just stepping up, and even if she just kind of became like in the know, but not really in the know about like what's going on. And just Alia needs a bigger role. Yeah,
so I have Alia becoming a hero, but that's on my like wish fulfillment part of my list. I do think I don't think that's necessary for the show to advance narrative. Like you don't have to group it like that. I'm just saying like I feel like a bigger role for Alia is totally legitimate in terms of and you could argue that maybe you want to make the argument that Alia becoming a hero would be narratively really
well
good
in the universe that Chloe becomes a hero, Alia has to become a hero.
Again, I also think Chloe becoming a hero is also in the wish fulfillment category.
Yes,
so.
I mean, narratively, Alia becoming a hero is like, especially like since we seem to be going this path that they keep hinting at that we're getting more heroes. Having random people be heroes who we don't really know. Yeah, you can get to know characters, but like to introduce random characters in like season 2, it'd be kind of like this is kind of annoying. Granted, it would work if we're new people. Okay, we're going on a continuous arc. Show's different now. Okay, let's go. But it would, and especially since we've gotten to know like we literally did the entire like roll call of the class. Like we have the whole roster. We might as well keep some faces around, And Alia is, she's like number 3 really there. She's in a lot of the episodes she has some of the like most development. Like we know who she is. She's great, and just need more Alia, and it would just make a lot of sense.
I do think Alia as a hero would be really good. I think we discussed this one of the previous weeks recently, but that would do a lot for this show. So I did that could be interesting. Any other big ones on your list, Delaney?
Sorry, my phone like whoa. This kind of goes with the continuous, but like there being less villains.
Okay.
Because this whole because we literally there's a villain every episode. It's like, okay, that's great, but like if we're gonna have continuous. It's really hard to imagine having. Granted, it's because we've been stuck, like we've been doing this the whole time. Okay, new villain, get the Miraculous. Okay, I got it. I understand what we're doing, but I think we need like kind of what we were talking about with this new image going on. Have her for 3 episodes. Awesome. Maybe don't have a villain for an episode. Do some fun stuff. Oh, we have another villain. Like kind of have like if we have less villains, we actually have more room, or less. I say like don't have an episode dominated by one villain, and then like like if we can have you could have 5 villains who create like the League of Super Evil, and they're like, okay, let's like mess stuff up for like a week. That's different, but just having less like okay, akumatize.
Yeah, I think it's interesting that you phrased it less villains instead of more of a like. More continuous villains. I think that's interesting. Well,
for me, it's like this. It's just so silly. I understand it's the Hawkmoth. It's what Hawkmoth does, and also like the original idea is that it would be for Hawkmoth to make superheroes. But then it just kind of it's like, well, if you can do that, what's the point of there being Ladybug and Cat Noir? If you can just make people all the time, then what's the point of that?
Yeah.
So if we have like less villain, and then when you have less like, okay, Hawkmoth, you didn't get it this time. You have to try again tomorrow. Like when we have less villains and we're not doing that, like it's more the stakes are higher, and you can take things a little bit more seriously. You can go do a few more serious things in this whole like villain mechanism where it's like there's just a bunch of them and it's just ridiculous.
Yeah, I do think this is probably an integral part of moving towards a continuous plot. Yeah. Other items. We'll get to them later.
Well, actually, I guess Ladybug solo episode, which I guess we're getting with the Shanghai, maybe.
Yeah,
maybe more of a specific wish, but yeah, that's interesting. Like, you want a Marinette alone?
I want a Marinette alone.
Yeah,
I think that's possible.
Like, I really think that's especially if we're going this continuous, and yes, Cat Noir, but like Ladybug. I want Marinette on her own, and to explore more. Ladybug's the hero Paris adores. Like, what's going on? That kind of thing. Like, I think that would be a really great character episode. Those are always great. And then and we haven't had that. Like, let's do it.
Yeah, that'd be interesting.
I like that a lot.
We can discuss this more with future items, but yeah, that's interesting and a thing to explore. Justin, what's big on your list?
A lot of my stuff is interesting plot elements I would like to see, but I'm not super sure about. But the one thing, I've talked about this probably the last 1 or 2 episodes, I'm dying to get Hawkmoth backstory. I don't think that's an unreasonable request. I think we're very likely to get that soon. I want to know his motivation, and especially if we're bringing in a new villain that could possibly trump Hawkmoth. I think that's a great time to show how Hawkmoth became a villain, why Hawkmoth is a villain. I think there's a lot of potential there. I just want a Hawkmoth backstory. It doesn't need to all be in one episode, just something. I think that'd be really cool.
Yeah, I think you've talked about this before. This would be interesting. I don't think this is vital towards a better narrative, but it would certainly be a way to enhance your narrative, is to flesh out your main villain.
It's a huge thing. And I mean, especially if we're bringing in another villain, we don't know anything about our first one.
Yeah, true. I mean, maybe we're due for Adrian's dad, Adrian's mom type flashback episode.
Yeah, that'd be something.
Yeah, that'd be interesting. Okay. Is that it? Other ones?
My other big one. If I had to pick another big one, it's hard because so many of these are just weird. I'd say probably I want more lore of the show. I want more information about Kwame's Miraculouses.
Okay, yeah, flesh out the mythology.
I expect we'll get that kind of. Yeah. I mean, we'll get that through that one comic, Tales of Miraculous, which I'm super stoked for, that anthology one. But I want it in the show. I want just every now and again weaved in little things, kind of like what Steven Universe does. We don't need one big lore episode. Just kind of weave it in. That's all I want. I want to end season 2 knowing more about the Miraculouses and their powers and how they formed than when we started.
Yeah, fleshing out the mythology, that's a good idea. That seems important.
It seems like a necessity.
Yeah, let's do that. Yeah, I mean, and you could say, and Origins did that more than any other episode, but it's still very basic.
Still, having more than 0 is not.
Yeah, exactly. So we can get into better territory there. Okay, here's my here's ones that I think are very important. Also, we're not in my wish fulfillment category yet. So these are things that I think that that you probably need to have a big narrative quality leap for the show in the future. One of my big ones here, which I think is interesting and something we've been talking enough about, is that I actually think Marinette's character needs some direction. And I talked about this kind of with the continuous narrative, but putting us in a stagnant place with her, the only thing that's kind of fluctuating is the situation with Adrian. I'd like to see a character arc for Marinette, more of a focus on her character and what's going on with her. I guess that's not fair that we haven't had one, because we had a segment of season 1 that was about her managing being a superhero. Right. So that's the type of stuff I'm looking for, is what's happening with her as a person relative to what's happening on the show. Let's explore that. We had the whole stuff about her being late everywhere, and it was interspersed throughout the season because nothing's in order. But something like that, make use of these continuous episode chunks, and let's develop her. How does she react to this increased mythology? How is she handling being a superhero now that she's more ingrained in things? Maybe stuff's getting bigger. What's going on with her, and her not oft talked about fashion design? Let's get into these things.
That's on my list.
Is to learn Marinette make more hats.
It's more fashion stuff. Yeah. A lot more. That's what I wrote.
Yeah,
a lot. Just all of it.
I think it's one of the better. I don't have a better. It's one of the more interesting plot things that the show's done that they've really not done very much of. We've really learned almost. It was once or twice in the beginning of the season, and then I forgot about it. And then they brought it up
Marinette
again.
Can make hats. Yeah. I forgot.
Let's talk more about Marinette as a person, less about Marinette obsessing over Adrian, basically.
Yes.
Yeah.
And her, maybe something with her, we kind of got into it a little bit, but I have it on my list, Marinette being a hero on her own, not as Ladybug, but as Marinette, this kind of how these things
yeah.
That's good stuff. That is always quality.
We had that one. Yeah, we had that one episode where she wasn't Ladybug and she was still doing stuff. Yeah, that type of thing. I forget which episode that was. I think the Chloe episode, maybe. something like that.
Like, I know, like, obviously the point of the show is that she's a superhero, but it's nice to have these episodes where our superheroes aren't superheroes in their episode. Like,
They're just super heroes.
Exactly.
Wow. Yeah, so deep, Justin.
It's a Power Rangers trope. That's the only reason I know it.
Yeah, so that's good. Good. My second, another thing on this list is, and something else I've talked about a lot, Adrian development. This is a big one. Hawkmoth, I've seen a lot of, or Cat Noir, they're the same level for me. Cat Noir, I've seen a lot of, and that was a joke. And he was, don't laugh if that was a joke, but yeah, no, I'm just clarifying for the potential feedback. We've seen a lot of him as Cat. We haven't seen a lot of him as Adrian. It's not something I don't think is obvious to a lot of people, but really there've only been a solid 4 or 5 episodes where you've seen Adrian more than like 2 minutes. So we need to learn more about Adrian as a person. Given what we know about him, he's pretty typical. I mean, it's not like this is a big trope, but it seems stereotypical, like the trapped, like too heavily parented or whatever, like he's not for, like, wants to be more free and stuff like that. I want to get more into specifics with Adrian. Like, he's definitely feels like kind of this object of affection with no depth to a certain extent. Now, Cat adds a lot of depth to him, but there's a little bit of a disconnect. So which is obviously is part of the narrative. So let's get into that more. I understand Adrian is not allowed to go outside much. And he does a lot of things that his dad tells him to do, like fencing and stuff. What else has he got going on? What's his worldview? What does Adrian think of stuff? Like, let's talk about that. I know none of that.
He's literally the Little Mermaid, now that I think about it.
Yeah,
pretty much.
Except he doesn't get like 20 minutes in the beginning about like singing to stuff, right? Like we need more of him as a person. There's no, like, there are, I guess the him fencing in Chinese and whatever is the equivalent of Marinette's fashion making, but Marinette we have. Both of them actually are a little bit in the same camp. It's hard to find a comparable example on Marinette's side that I want for Adrian development, but it's more pressing on Adrian's side. So, what does Adrian think about? Like, what does Adrian think about anyone around him? I genuinely don't know. Like, I know he's friends with Nino, but I don't really understand that. I don't really understand how he views Marinette. Or that's why the rain scene in Origins was so great. It's a slight amount of insight into Adrian's mind about how he views Marinette. Let's get more into that. I think that's pretty vital to the season 2 is getting that. And then the last thing in this category would be, and this is less of a this is a little bit of a different category, but just as important. Tone down Cat Noir. Tone him down.
Oh my god, that's on my list.
What's wrong, Bugaboo?
He literally wrote less puns.
Yeah,
that's
so
exactly what I meant.
The puns aren't as important to me as it is the assertiveness with Ladybug. That's like the effect that Delaney and I have talked about it a lot.
The discourse begins again.
Yeah,
perfect.
Okay, well, you're not helping with the puns. So the puns are probably related, and the answer to this question is that they've done this. If you look at the episodes that come in the beginning versus the ones that are probably towards the end of production, Cat Noir gets better, like, as the season goes on. He does. But he's too assertive with Ladybug. It's not sympathetic to me, and it makes sense given what they're doing with his character, Adrian's being free type thing. But if you want him to be sympathetic as Cat Noir, which I know doesn't resonate with most people listening, but if you're listening from a certain perspective, like the ones a lot of people have, which is that I think that you need to make him more sympathetic relative towards his interactions with Ladybug. I actually think Maricat's a good way to do this. He's better with Marinette, so I think that'd be interesting. He'd be more tame with her, so that would be potentially a good way to get into this type of thing. Just tone down Cat. It's actually a pretty vital thing, I think, to season 2.
Is it though? Like, do we really?
He honestly, like, when sometimes he detracts from the show. Sometimes
he detracts from episodes. No, I think it's an active thing for me.
Like, the thing that he does is, like, it's not like, okay, yes, Delaney hates puns, but, like, a lot of times they do stuff, and I'm like, we could have done something fun and serious, but then Cat Noir said something, and then, like, he just does things, and it's like, why do we have to do this?
But every show's gonna have its moments like that where they're gonna go something serious and then divert drastically. I mean,
Well,
by
that's
that, by
That's
that,
not what no. We don't need to get into it again. That's not what we're talking about. We're talking about him being doing things with Ladybug that she doesn't necessarily like want happening, and it's
but not
played off
every
in
character needs to be not problematic. So that's not how life is. If you make
Right,
every
so, I
character
mean-
not have an issue, it's boring because now everyone's a Gary or a
I-
Mary
we
Sue.
have to address the issue though with him, because especially if everyone wants them to get together, we have to address this issue.
I think that sure people aren't perfect. I don't think your Adrian is the character that you want having that attribute for him. I think that's not a good way to approach narrative in this case. Like the show is predicated upon sympathy for its leads. Like that's like the foundation of the show is its leads are appealing. So
I guess my question is: do you want it to happen naturally, or do you want him to get like a lecture? Because
well,
that's
it has
my
been.
fear.
That's the thing, though. They're already on this track. Like I've said, it's gotten better. Like he's fine towards the end of the season. So it doesn't need to be anything drastic. Just be conscious
Just
of it
more.
and avoid it. You know,
Because my fear is we're gonna get like a lecture that doesn't address that's like not subtle.
I don't like these types of things about that. I would not worry about that with this crew. Like they're not. I don't think this is on the top of their priorities, to be honest. So
No,
I wouldn't
it's
worry
not.
about that. Okay, Delaney, anything else non-wish fulfillment items to get into?
No, I think I guess kind of like having less of this like kind of useless, pointless school scenes.
Okay, that's a good one. Yeah.
Like we have like obviously I get it, they're in middle school and like we have to be superheroes in school. Like I got it, like I understand, but it's like we can like have a little bit of variety. And the thing is, and this also just goes into the continuity and like this formulaic. Oh, we're in school, something happens. Oh no, because we have like the episodes where they're not in school, and then we have the episodes where they are in school, and it's just or at least maybe like switch them up a little bit. I don't know. We just do the same stuff. It's like we're sitting in a classroom. Like okay, that's fun. But it's just the school stuff tends to get, when we did like the hat competition, that was neat. That was cool. But like when we just do like them sitting in a classroom, like talking, it's like, okay, whatever.
Yeah, I think in general the school scenes are lacking, but
they use it as a crutch for a lot of like what's going on, which understandable. Like that's fine. And again, we don't have, continuity at all. But if we could like, or at least do something interesting when they're at school.
Yeah, I think you were getting into this a little bit. I think it's less of a specific school scene problem than it is about this is like symptomatic of other things the show needs to get better at, like doing the same thing over and over.
Yeah, it's so formulaic. Like, oh, we have a cool new villain. They did something else, and they kind of popped in like 5 minutes later than normal. Oh, okay, but it's literally like just we see the same thing over and over again. We're at school. Marinette did something clumsy. Oh, ha ha ha! Chloe's rude, and then the villain busts into the classroom.
Yeah, less formulaic. It's possible that they need to focus less on minor characters that don't matter. That could be another one.
Yeah, that's the thing. Like, obviously, we loved like the whole like, oh, look at everyone in the class, and it's like, but are we ever going to see them again? Probably not.
I'd rather develop Adrian and Marinette 100 times more than ever see Nathaniel or Alex. We already not seeing
want
Alex.
Nathaniel back.
Alex, even Julica. I love Julica. I'd just rather develop Marinette and Adrian more than ever see any of them again. Like, and it's like,
or if we're gonna do things with them, like actually do things with the classmates other than just make them villains like every other day.
Pick like 3 and have them be side characters.
Yeah, that's fine.
But the show doesn't really have side characters. It has Adrian and Marinette, and then there's Alya, and then Nino is Nino is a side character. Like that's a legitimate side character in the show. There's no one else. Like I guess there's Chloe, and then there's Sabrina. So like if you want, that's fine. That's enough. But if you want to like make Julica someone, put her. I don't know. This is more of a problem of the too many villains. I think it's not a problem if they're in the backgrounds. It is a problem if we're going to focus a whole episode on them to a certain extent. But at the same time, it doesn't even matter. Like that Julica is a villain. Like whatever. So this is something they'll naturally go away from. I'm not too worried about that. Anyway. Yeah, it's a lot of stuff that's would change based on other things changing. Justin, anything else in non-wish fulfillment?
Yeah, so these for me are kind of the things that at least have basis and are likely somewhat. So first off, the stuff we heard today, the balcony scene, the villain, I want those to be good. I hope the balcony scene gives us some Maricat stuff. I'm hoping.
Okay.
We know those are coming. I just want them to actually have worth and actually have some bearing. Along that vein, the Peacock, we've seen the Kwame. I'm hoping we at least get something with that. Again, we don't know what we're getting, but we've seen the Kwame now. So odds are we're going to at least get a mention of it.
We'll get the Peacock, yeah.
Yeah, and that kind of goes along with the lore. Also, more guest stars. This kind of goes for the American version specifically, but they announced that Laura Morano, who did a cover of the theme, is going to be a Kumatai's villain coming up in season 2. I like that idea. Let's make guest stars Akumatai's villains. I think that's a really cool idea if we're going to keep doing Akumatai's villains. So I would like at least a couple more of those in the season if we're going to keep doing Akumatai's villains a lot. And I guess more. Oh, I want more Volpina. I want something with Volpina.
Shocker.
Oh man.
Really. Yeah. Justin wants Volpina. Oh no.
Yeah.
And I want more Jagged Stone. Also not a shocker. So.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Okay. All of those are things that the show actually could do. So you're right. Definitely outside of the wish fulfillment.
And one more likely. We've heard a lot about the Zag Heroes verse. I know y'all aren't so hot on it. I'm very scared. I'm worried it's going to water down Ladybug. Not water down, but I'm worried it's going to detract from.
This is an anti-wish list item. Yeah. Don't.
Well, here's the thing. It's going to happen whether we want it or not. I want it to be done well. I'm curious to see how, because they have like 4 shows in production. They are not going the Marvel route. They're going to DC, throw everything at a screen and see what sticks route. I'm hoping it works out, and I'm very curious to see how they integrate Ladybug. I want it to turn out well because we know it's happening. I hope they do something cool. We've never really gotten like an animated universe like this at one time. We got the DC verse that was like Batman animated series, Batman Beyond, Justice League Unlimited, but that flowed as each show ended. We've never gotten. This is kind of like the Berlanti verse of like Arrow and Flash, but animated. And I really want it to work out well. So I hope they execute that well. Because we know it's happening. Just make it good.
Yeah, that's a very positive outlook on that. I do not.
I'm very concerned.
I have zero optimism for that.
So we have to just be optimistic.
Zero
it's going
optimism.
to happen.
No, I'm not optimistic about it.
Okay, let's run through our wish fulfillment items. We're almost at the end of this. These are going to be maybe 10 seconds each on each one. So tell me what it is, how much do you want it, how likely is it to happen? So we're going to go. I'll go first, then Delaney goes, then Justin goes. And we'll just run through the rest of our list. So number 1, wish fulfillment, Maralia. That's the obvious one.
I didn't even put that on my list.
Wow, that's
like,
that's the
I
number.
want it desperately, but it's never going to happen.
That was the first thing I thought of to put on a wish list. So that's the. Is it likely? No. How much do I want it? 100%. So Marinette and Alia dating. That is the first item. Delaney.
I only have one other thing on my list. I wasn't thinking about things like Maralia. I was trying to think of things that like could maybe happen.
Okay.
I don't know. I have like really the only other thing I have is like more of like Marinette's parents because I love them.
Okay. Yeah.
They're great, and I think and that would also help with like Marinette's character and doing this and this. Getting to know Marinette better, and have like her parents are just great, and I want and also I want her parents to know she's Ladybug. It's so frustrating. Like
yeah, that'd be
honest, in a few episodes, it's been more frustrating than like Adrian not knowing. Like it's been like really irritating.
Let's see Marinette's dad's reaction to learning that Marinette is Ladybug. Let's see.
That'd be
awesome.
Great. He just picks
her very
up,
Danny Phantom situation.
Yeah, it is. It is.
We're not quite to that extreme.
Oh no, it's not as
he's
bad
a ghost, and there goes Hunters.
Yeah, they're not going to like her.
Yeah. Okay.
It's that kind of reveal.
That's a good one. More Marinette's parents is good. Justin, how many items do you have on yours left?
I have 1, 2.
Okay, so enough.
3,
Okay,
4,
you go, then I'll go, then you go. Okay.
All right. I want a Code Lyoko reference. I don't want a full crossover. I just want like a name drop. Caddick Academy, just something to confirm universe. I don't need a full crossover. It's not happening. Just a little reference. It's not super likely. It's possible. Maybe 3 out of 10. And I want it a lot. It would be cool.
I think I'm out on that. I don't know. I don't want them to be in the same universe. I mean, I was the biggest Code Lyoko fan. I don't know. I don't know if they should be in the same universe. It'd be cool to have a reference. I don't know. I'll think about that. That's an interesting one.
I just want that.
Yeah, I'm all for more Code Lyoko in our lives. But next on my wish list, obvious. Chloe is the bee. I want this to happen. I want this. This is like an 80%er on how much I want it. How likely is it to happen? Chloe becoming the bee specifically. I think it's close to 50-50. We'll see if they go this route. They could totally do it. It's totally possible. I really want it. I think Chloe'd be a great B, and I want to see Chloe as a hero, and we'll get more into that later. Justin.
With new villains popping up, I'm hoping that Paris is like aware of these villains and that there's something interesting that makes Paris have to choose sides. Like I want something to happen where Ladybug and Cat Noir fail. If we're doing plot arcs, I want them to fail at some point. And I want to see Paris have to pick. Do they go with the villains or do they go with Ladybug and Cat Noir? I want to see them turn on them.
Do you want like
classic superhero?
Yeah, do you want like do you want like X-Men where like someone's putting humans, or do you want like the beginning of Incredibles?
I kind of want it's hard to even classify, I guess.
I think you're talking about the beginning of the Incredibles mostly.
Kind of, but also
there's kind of like
Fantastic
things like
Four.
Yeah. Wait, what?
Kind of Fantastic. I mean, it's happened in the past where like the Fantastic Four have done something where what I want more. I want Civil War.
I was gonna say I was just to say that it's like when they like destroy stuff.
Okay, so they
like,
just have to
hold up.
So they just have to pick a side, like in Humans' Eyes, or like
I doubt they could get away with it, but like if they bring down the Eiffel Tower somehow, like something of that catastrophic a scale.
But they can't because it's Miraculous. Like I don't know how to like Miraculous Ladybug.
That could be a wishlist item. Get rid of the Miraculous Ladybug power. Actually have consequences on the show. That's totally.
I would love to see Paris like turn on Ladybug and Cat Noir just for a couple episodes.
Okay, just turning on Ladybug and Cat Noir. That'd be interesting. I think I'm out on that, but
I want a Red Kryptonite episode. That's what I want.
I don't. No turning on Marinette. Not allowed. Too precious. No.
I mean, yeah, you'd have to see Marinette and Adrian dealing, like walking down the street, seeing like Ladybug protest. It would be such an interesting theme.
No, they're gonna do it. That's like that is like the in like top 5 superhero tropes. They have to do it.
But that's very anti the themes of season one. So
yeah, but just give it like an episode or two. I would love to see it happen.
No, I'm out on that. Don't treat Marinette like that.
I like it a lot. I love it.
Perfection for Marinette. That's my request.
It's not like
next on the list is Alia becoming a hero. We talked about this with Delaney.
Please, please. That's literally like, just please.
Yeah, I want this also in the 80% range, and how likely I think it's more towards the third, 33, maybe less, maybe 20. I think this is less likely than Chloe becoming the B. Is it? I don't know. I've been back and forth on this.
I don't know. Well, the thing is, like, doing it with Chloe is like so obvious. So it's like obviously Chloe's going to be a hero. Like it's so obvious they're going to do that.
Yeah, you could argue Alia is also obvious because they've gotten into this with her being such a fan. That's very tropey too. I could see it.
I would really love if they did something where Alia doesn't even become like a Kwame hero. Like she's just like, I'm going to be a vigilante because I'm cool. Like that would make my life.
Yeah.
Like Alia becomes Batgirl, and I'm like, yes,
that'd be good. Yeah. So something with Alia being a hero. That's definitely on mine. Justin.
My next one, I've mentioned this before. The time, like the hologram thing that Alex gets in episode Timebreaker. What technology is that? I want to know what happened.
So you genuinely want to go in towards some sort of
Ladybug alternate Earth theory?
No, I just want to know what technology that was. I just want something with that. I want resolution. I want that Alex could become a hero of that, or give it to Alia or something. I'm
not concerned with that.
Some acknowledgement of this magical technology that we just shoved under a rug.
So you want to integrate Thor into this? Someone in the sky.
Just something.
I don't. Yeah. It's okay. That's interesting. I'm out on that, but sure. Next, I have. Okay. Here's an interesting one. I don't know if we've talked about this before. I was trying to think of ones that we hadn't. Most of this we've talked about before. I think we've talked about this, but I want Marinette to question her feelings for Adrian. This is a pretty big one.
Yes, please.
So, like, one, yes, we ship, and I especially ship Adrian and Marinette. But I feel like right now, Marinette's feelings for Adrian are very much at best unsubstantial and at worst illegitimate in the way that middle school crushes are. It's not based on anything. I don't think she really knows who Adrian is as a person.
It's not even a middle school crush. It's like literally having a crush on a celebrity. Like
it's almost that too. Yeah, like there's nothing here. She doesn't really like Adrian. She just like has a crush on Adrian. So if she's like, oh, maybe I'm not into him that much, integrate Kat somehow into this, that'd be super interesting. Integrate Alia and having feelings like that, that'd be even better. But I feel like if you're really a Adrian Marinette shipper, then you should want her to get out of this crush haze and have her actually develop genuine feelings for Adrian.
Mhm.
That's my feelings on that. So this would be really, and the perspective, I wasn't even coming at it from the shipping angle. I just think this would be great for Marinette's character. Get her out of that haze that is not necessarily a bad part of her character. It's just an overemphasized part in season 1, typical because of the premise. But I think this is a big one. Justin,
I want a song. Let's throw a song in an episode.
That's
This is
pretty.
something we
That's
haven't talked about.
typical Justin. I like that one.
I mean,
Okay.
I hadn't thought about it
Musical
before,
episode.
but
Let's go.
we don't even need a full musical. Just
No, I
a
want
song. It
Do
happens
you want
a lot
the
more
characters
often in
singing
cartoons.
the song?
Either, just have something where like Marinette enters a singing competition, or Adrian enters a singing competition, or a duet. It's the show.
Marinette
goes
and Aya
around.
do the duet.
Yeah,
Yes.
okay.
I don't care who.
So-
Just a song in the show. I think it would be cool. It'd be interesting. Give Laura Morano an original song when she's an akumatized villain who makes people sing. I don't care what you do. Just put a song in there.
I'd be fine with like
Most shows do that.
Most shows have something like this, I guess. I'd be fine with a like song in the background, like instead of a score, like a Laura Morano track or something. I guess I'm out on Marinette singing, but it would be certainly interesting. So that'd be good. That could be, do you think that's likely? Do you think they could do that?
I think it's about 50-50. I think it's going to happen eventually.
I saw
but
talk that people thought it was happening in one of the specials. I was like, what are y'all talking
That's
about?
very much a special thing too. Yeah.
I would enjoy it if they did it. I don't know how likely it is, but it would be fun.
Yeah.
It's not like, oh, it has to happen, but it'd be cool. It'd be
Yeah.
just a neat one-off thing.
Oh, there's one other news thing I just remembered, but because we haven't talked about the specials much, but yeah, I'll do that at the end. So next, I talked about this briefly. We've talked about this in previous podcast. I want a either a Maricat or a Ladrian date scene episode.
Yes.
This could be the balcony. This could be it'd just be really interesting. I want to build towards an identity reveal. So you do these things, like tease with the different combinations, and let's get there. I'd love the Ladrian one especially, but even Maricat would be interesting. This would just be a really fun episode to have, and like let's not have villain interaction for one episode. Just have like this date episode. That'd be great. Let's do it, and then let's lead into Marinette questioning feelings because of the Maricat. Like there's a really good Maricat arc that's possible, but I don't think they'll do it, but they could. I mean, the balcony scene, so maybe.
Maricat?
No, maybe. Okay. Justin, what's next?
This is an interesting one, and I don't know what made me think of this, but we keep saying Chloe should be a hero. No. Alia should be a hero. No. Chloe, Alia. Why not both be the same hero? I want to see a Kwame that has 2 parts, or somehow 2 people share a Kwame and have to decide who acts on it in that moment. I would love to see 2 people having to share a Miraculous. And I want it to be Chloe and Alia.
I don't know if it works like that.
We don't know that it doesn't.
Yeah.
I think it would be really interesting. I think it would be a cool arc. I think it's kind of like a Firestorm idea from DC Comics, except they actually share a body.
I don't think it works like that. But that's interesting. Okay, I might be in
I think it would be it'd be fun. It'd be a really great dynamic. For Ladybug and Cat Noir, you look different today.
Yeah. Delaney had to drop out. We will not be hearing her opinions on my next item, unfortunately. Hashtag Chloe Redemption is my next item here. Hashtag Chloe Redemption. It's happening. 100%. 100% want, 100% happening. Just get ready for the Chloe Redemption, Justin.
You put up with my stuff, I'll put up with it. Sure, Chloe Redemption. Let's do it.
Just be ready. Okay, next.
My last one, I wrote this as Army of Class. We talked about how every class person has become a akumatized villain at some point, and how Hawkmoth's powers were originally for creating a hero. This could go hero or villain. I want to see all of the class into akumatized form in one beautiful moment, probably season 2 finale, either as like a united army against Ladybug and Cat Noir, or like standing behind Ladybug and Cat Noir to face like the final threat. Like I want one big epic army kind of moment. You'd have Bubbler, Dark Cupid, Gamer, Lady Wi-Fi, everybody.
There's a lot. That'd be interesting.
It'd just be an awesome,
they might do that,
beautiful moment. I don't know how great it would flow narratively. But that would be on everyone's Tumblr.
Not super. It would be, It would be a good screen cap. I don't know if I'm into it episode wise, but they might do that. That seems like something they do. I'll close this out with hashtag Lila Redemption. Well, it could be Volpina, but just Lila is back, and she is a good guy, and it's gonna be great. That's what I mean by redemption. I just mean, like, they'd be nicer and stuff like that. Chloe and Lila, they're going to get their redemption arcs. Just wait for it. Hashtag Chloe redemption, hashtag Lila redemption. Okay. We've gone very long here. And
what is the news?
Oh, yeah. Okay, very quickly. On Jeremy Zag's Instagram, a 3D model of Marinette's new outfit for the Christmas special, which is just like her old outfit, but with like a scarf, so and earmuffs. And,
Marinette's wearing a scarf.
I guess she's like a dress. Like I don't know if she normally wears a dress. I don't remember, but
no, she wears like khakis.
Okay, so I don't know if she's pants on or not. Yeah, so it's like she is like a dress type thing, and she's a scarf and earmuffs. That's cool. Okay, and like long high socks. I don't know. So yeah, we'll talk about the specials more coming up. I guess we might have a special speculation one on the special. So let us know what you think. We may or may. I assume we'll be back next week at this point. But yeah, I'm just skeptical of going every week until May. That's a long time away. With
I still want to do Miraculous Rain.
Yeah, potential topic at some point. And so let us know topics you guys want discussed. If you're still loving these, comment and share your support. And we're really good to keep doing them every week. Overlyanimated.com. You can support us on Patreon at patreon.com/overlyanimated. Thank you very much to our patrons: Mitch Cordell, Beatrice, Nate, Andy, Jamie, Rachel, John, Ryan, Catherine, Taylor, Devon, Jade, John Phonician, and Victoria, aka Fever, Mitch, Cordell, University Beach Exchange, Nathan Fillion, Buzz Like Your Man, Rachel Rose, Johnny Bravo, Brian, Cook Cat, Needle, Diamond Day, Jewel, Garfield, TBD. We got to work on them. And our next podcast you guys will hear will be on Monday. This is coming out Sunday when we have the return of Star vs. the Force of Evil. So look out for that and look out for the SU coming up. Thanks guys for listening. Let us know comments on YouTube or anywhere. And yep. Bye.
Bye.